Oh, what's up, D?
What's up, Coach?
Oh, man, it's all good. All good. It's Friday, baby. It's Friday. I'm gonna stop shaking these legs, man. I gotta get better about doing that. Man, here we are, a week out.
Yeah.
Man, I know I look palm drained, y'all. That this week done took it out of me.
Took a lot out of you?
Yeah, go from last Friday all geeked up and excited about what was coming on that evening. And it's like a bad hangover.
Yeah, it was fair.
It's been a week of a boxing hangover.
A week of boxing hangover or a week of boxing disappointment?
It still had, you know what, that's a good question.
Okay.
Or a good way of saying it. I'm not going to say it's a week of disappointment because it still is a week of great, it still is a weekend, last weekend of a whole lot of boxing from Friday to Sunday. So you can't be disappointed about the buffet of boxing.
Ooh.
But that shit went fresh.
Golden Corral?
I didn't say that.
Oh.
See why you go do that,
I'm
man.
okay.
You don't know who I'm reaching out to.
You're right.
Like,
I'm sorry.
God,
okay.
He didn't mean nothing about that.
I didn't mean that. I love Golden Corral. I love the dessert
nothing bad about
I didn't mean nothing bad about it.
I just said bad buffet, bro.
Bad buffet. Okay.
So, all right, we're going to leave it at that.
Okay.
Y'all like Golden Corral, y'all chime in and let us know. I don't eat it.
I had
one experience at Golden Corral.
Okay.
Boy, stop.
We're back to the boxing buffet.
Check it out.
Okay.
It was a boxing buffet.
Okay.
So there was a little bit there was something on the table that you could eat.
A little bit.
It ended up being Inoue, and we'll get into a couple of fights. But as far as the weekend as a whole, just not good buffet. I mean, what was your opinion?
I think that, you're the technical guy. I look from a media standpoint, boxing coverage. People were very excited about boxing. They tied it into the City of Wolves, the video game that came out, rolled into Friday.
Nothing about.
Nothing about, but it was a good backdrop. New York City, you've seen the celebrities out. Iron Mike Tyson was there, bringing a lot of the old boxers out, paying homage. I thought that was very good. I thought the way they staggered things was very good. The production aspect was very good. Fights were a little bit, they left something to be desired. We'll say that.
Okay.
We'll say that. But as the weekend progressed, they got better, I feel.
Oh, you do?
I feel, yeah.
Okay, what got better? Who? I mean, you got to be specific, bro.
I feel when we got to, I'm a Canelo fan. I always like to see Canelo fight, and I just like to watch his technique. The fight wasn't very exciting. There was a lot of running, posturing, but it was better than Friday, in my opinion. And then by the time we got to Sunday, it was exciting. The knockdown. I don't want to, get too much. I can tell you, I'm
hungover. I'm hungover from it. So I know the folks are always hearing me talk.
Right.
But today I'm gonna be the co-host and let you shine because I got a bad headache, a bad hangover.
You got a bad taste,
man. Not a bad taste.
Okay.
Just hungover.
Had
I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it.
But I'm hungover from it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I enjoyed the spots too, but like I said, Inoue getting knocked down, bouncing back, showing character. I'm always liking to see people, show resilience, and the spotlight was on him. I know people have been skeptical at times about some of the coverage he gets, and some of the fighters he doesn't fight, and he fights here, and he was in Vegas this time, and I thought he put on a good show.
Okay. Well, let's get into the fights. Let's get into Friday night.
Let's start Friday night.
Teofimo. And was he with Barbosa?
No,
yeah, Teofimo and
Barbosa, or was it Ramirez? No, Barbosa.
Barbosa.
Okay.
Well, what do you think about Teo's performance?
Teo is, I thought he was a little, I don't know. He was a New York guy. He's a New York guy. So I think I wanted him to put on more of a show, but I think he was a little timid. Maybe some ring rust or something like that? I don't know. But I like his style. I was kind of imitating it, But he did his thing. Had a nice jab. He's always he can be flashy in different spots. Control the fight. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't want to get too deep. I want you to do the analysis.
I told you.
Okay.
Hey, all right. Okay.
Chomping at the bit to hear what you got to say. Fight the hangover a little bit for us, just a little bit.
See, he looked the best.
Yeah.
Of Friday night.
Okay.
And I'm not a huge Teofimo fan. I'm not going to be shy about saying that.
Okay.
He's a very talented, and there's other reasons.
Right,
He's doing some antics and doing some things.
I think he's talented
He's towing the line right now, and I hope that Top Rank, because he just shot another video yesterday, and
really?
I'm like, and it's gonna come out today.
Okay.
They're already on his ass about it. It's the second time he's done this.
He said some things.
Yes. He made some comments before about some bananas.
I remember.
And now he's in a video dropping the N-word. And you're gonna always have people that say, well, Hispanics, that's okay. Nah, you know, I'm not one of those folks that side with that. The world, we just drop power around here, everybody.
We turned the lights out.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay, brought it back.
Brought it back. Man, okay. The electric personalities in here. y'all, we're going to lead us in.
We leaving it in.
Yeah.
Raw and uncut. We keeping it real. Uncut. The BBL podcast, by the way.
Maybe I shouldn't be talking about Tio.
It's a sign.
That might be a sign. Let's move on.
Let's move on. Okay.
No. But no, like I said, there's a video going to come out today that they're really in his butt about using that N-word. You know, we're gonna do a segment about that.
We should.
We really should about, you know, has that word now been desensitized because you got, you know, different rappers and different, you know, ethnicities using that word more freely, different and people cultures. Think that they should get a pass by doing it. And so that's going to be a big debate about this Tio thing today, which is, well, he's Hispanic, should he get a pass? Raised in New York, he's in boxing, been around brothers. So is he saying the word how we say it? And he's not. He's saying it the other way, and he's making sure that it's heard the other way.
Weaponizing it.
Weaponizing it. You know, you can promote a fight, but when you start doing that, you cross the line. So that's why that's the second time he's done this, and I'm not a fan of him personally. Talent-wise, yeah.
I respect that.
Sure. I mean, and he looked very a focus, in shape, you know, and I'm not necessarily even say Tio, I think it's the team. A focus, in shape, dad and son combination. When they, you know, ain't running around here doing all the other silly shit, then you saw what you get on Friday night. You know, very, very, very physically talented, twerky, you know, fights on different angles, different platforms, can do different things, both sides.
The production was there.
But yeah, he can do all those things. He'll be a problem for a lot of guys. And he got power, and he got pop, and he got speed, you know, and is very elusive and entertaining to watch. So that's my thing with that. Okay. Great coin flip here. You take a Haney. Looked god awful. God awful. I don't remember who he even fought. It might have been, I don't even remember.
You went straight to it.
It was god awful.
Didn't look good at all.
But perfect example. Tio and his daddy, when they were doing all they running around against Cambosis and other fighters, he looked horrible. You don't see them all in the spotlight no more, running around and trying to be. He looked great. What's Devin and their daddy been doing? Going at Ryan. And what they've been doing for last year.
Lawsuits,
running around,
media.
lawsuits, Bill, and how did Devin look?
These things translate.
It does translate.
Okay.
You distract. I mean, this is a sport of no distractions. You cannot be distracted in this sport. You just can't be, because think of it this way. It's just like what they said about Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson used to say. If, you know, they didn't have all this social media and all this, you know, technology to have the media platforms that we have. So you had to just assume that if I'm over here in LA or in Michigan and I'm shooting 50 jumpers, you got to assume that Larry's in Indiana shooting 75. So let me put up 100. You know what I mean? And boxing is no different. You know, you have success in the sport by being dedicated. Look at Floyd.
Focus.
You hear on the stories now about Floyd going to the club,
running from the club,
running shoes, being in the car. He run home, or getting up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, running, or come to the gym, or you know, and everyone has said the same. Like his dedication and work ethic has been unmasked.
Yeah, second to
you know, and so yeah, the distractions do matter. I mean, again, you can look at them two guys alone, Teofimo in their camp, Devin and his.
That's a great example, Coach.
You know, so I'll just leave it at that. Okay. So, you know, we're never going to spend a lot of time on Devin's thing because don't need to spend no time on it.
Okay.
But again, talented kid, win focus. We've seen what he's capable of doing. Have we really seen all that since up into the Ryan? No. And we were hoping to see that last Saturday.
Right. Main event, let's go.
You know what? I'm going to say this, and it's going to surprise a lot of people.
Okay.
And if y'all go back and look at the video last Friday, my prediction was what? If Ryan don't get him in 3 or 4, Rollie will get him late by decision.
You did say that.
It's just you know, you got to look at that fight from an analytical standpoint, which to me it is. Ryan had the best jab he's ever had. Kudos to Derrick James. There's actually a video out there that Ryan's training, and I even say that. I said, at least Derrick's got his jab looking good.
Okay.
Jab was wicked fast. He keeping it with an open hand. He getting another extra quarter of an inch off the jab because he was keeping his hand open, not closing with a power jab.
Okay.
And he was sticking it. He could have went up and went down with it and threw that big right hand and set some other things up. But what I saw with that was, here's a guy that's finally trying to conform to what everybody's trying to make him into, a better boxer. And it took away a lot of his natural instinct.
Right, because they've been saying that for years, saying he was more of a social media fighter, flashy, but he's actually trying to work on his technique now.
Well, that's good and bad.
Good and bad.
Why is that good and bad?
Explain.
I'm asking you first. Why do you think it's good and bad?
Well, I think it's good because he's progressing and he's aging as a fighter, and it's only so many tricks you can pull. You're going to have technique, especially against better fighters, right? Or get better. You're just going to have to get better. Then I think it's bad because it's kind of going away from who he really is. You know, his essence is being flashy and being, look at me, and like you always say, the golden boy, the women, the attention. That's his essence, and it translates into his boxing style. So if you get away from who you are, you always say, you have to be who you are. And if you get away from who you are, then you start to kind of lose it. Does that make sense?
Well, it does.
Okay.
If I were to put that into boxing terminology, and even as a boxing coach, I've been doing this getting close to 20 years now.
Wow.
That's a lesson I've had to learn.
Okay.
End of the day, you can only instill and put in so much. But if you get a fighter or a boxer, they're going to have certain things that just their attributes, just like any type of person.
Natural attributes.
You have to be able to put in packages and instill certain things, but then you also got to be able to enhance the things that they do very well. They do naturally. And a lot of times us boxing coaches, we get caught up, oh man, you're not technically doing this. You don't have no head movement. You're not throwing your punches straight. But this person's don't reach a level of success by doing it their way.
Right.
I mean, they didn't try to change Muhammad Ali from putting his hands up. They didn't take Joe Frazier from doing the Frazier. They didn't stop James Toney from perfecting the shoulder roll, the Philly. So you take what some of these guys have you put in a little bit, but you still enhance what their strengths are. I think Ryan had been kind of programmed to, let's start boxing now, and I want you to look like a boxer and straight shots, and it had him confused. No hooks. No body hooks, nothing that he does. He didn't throw none of that.
Yeah.
He was too busy trying to look a certain way.
He was.
On Saturday, which bowls very well for a guy like a Rollie, because Rollie's a pressure fighder. He hits very hard.
Which is exactly
you can't be thinking in front of Rollie. You got to make Rollie blink, not think. And that's what you got to do with Rollie. If you sitting there trying to figure him out, by the time you try to do all this stuff to, the science on him, he hitting you too hard. He hitting you too hard. Too much time. And that's what you saw on Friday night.
So Rollie did what Rollie does.
He fought. If he did what he does, Ryan did not do what he does, and
that was the outcome.
That was the outcome.
Wow.
Not complicated, ain't rocket science.
Okay, not rocket science at all.
Do what you do best.
And that's a metaphor for life too, Coach.
That's in everything. Whatever it is, you're not just having a conversation about changing. Nah, man, all that's great. You can do all that, but that's a spinoff on business. End of the day, you got to come back to doing what you do best. You start deviating too much, and you're gonna water down what you do best. And next thing you know, you might have a bunch of different things going on, and all them things might look a certain way, but are you taking away from what are your home run swings? Ryan's home run swing is a left hook. I don't think he threw. I don't remember him throwing one. I definitely don't remember any landing of substance. I mean, y'all remember? That the thing on Friday night was such a, it was again bad buffet. No, I'm not going to say disappointing because it was still Friday night boxing at Madison Square. In Times Square. People were asking, do you think that had any impact being outside and
do you?
The open? Nah, man. A lot of these kids at some point in time, especially those West Coast kids, they do a lot. I guarantee you, between Ryan and Devin, at some point they don't box outside and outside in open air, probably in somewhere hot, extremely hot, coming out of California in the Midwest, where a lot of them guys come from, Texas. So, they ain't their first time being outside somewhere. Now, being inside of an arena with the fans and the lights and the techno and the pyro and all that and this and the third, that makes a huge difference because it's a pressure cooker in there.
Right.
In a fight arena. You took a lot of that out. And then you do have like the barriers up. You can't see the crowd. You can't see the people. You hear folks. So all that does is F with you because it's just like, it was like fighting during COVID, I'm sure. If you ask some guys what it was like, if any of them had any fights during COVID, no fans in the place, just the coaches, small, intimate It is tough.
They would say that.
Yeah, it is tough. So I don't know how much of an impact, but I'm sure it did, but I don't think it was. Man, shit, that's still Times Square, dog.
It is Times Square, and they probably trained for it.
Still Times Square.
Teams had a good.
Yeah, still
Boxers
Times Square.
had good teams. They trained for it.
Still Times Square.
Okay.
So moving on to Saturday.
Okay.
You said Canelo's your guy.
Canelo's my guy. I was let's think of the approach. Canelo's my guy. He looked good. He looked like Canelo. But the fight was I thought it would ramp up maybe in the third or the fourth, but there was a lot of running. I think I think fighters are, of course, it's a dangerous sport, right? And, you were talking about opponents. We watched the fight a little bit. You were talking about opponents. It's about picking opponents. And I think people are taking fights and they're afraid to fight.
So your synopsis is you believe Skull was afraid to fight?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think he was trying to tread water, look good, but he was afraid to fight. Okay. I think he can fight. He showed signs. Bless you, coach. But I think he was just afraid to fight. He had some opportunities to fight, and he was... I don't know, Coach.
Interesting.
Yeah. Why do you train if you don't fight? Well, and that was a great opportunity for him.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. That's how he fights.
Really?
They
that was
knew
my
that.
First time seeing him fight.
That's how he fights.
Okay.
He's a counter-punching, backwards, fighting off his back foot, slick Cuban fighter. And if you look at a lot of Cuban fighters, that's how they fight.
Right.
Most of them are 1, 2, 3 step guys, and then they're back out. Then some of them are lateral guys, 3, 3, 2, 3 to the right, 1, 1, 2 to the left. One up, one back, and over.
Okay.
What's that? What's that? Salsa.
Yeah.
Baba bing, baba bop, baba bop.
Okay.
Baba bing, bing bong, baba bop.
So that was the style.
That's how he fought. He wasn't running.
Okay.
And I'm gonna throw this to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. This was gonna drive a lot of folks crazy. Go back and watch the fight. If you go back and watch the fight, Skull probably wins. Take the sound off. Focus on him. He landed more combinations. He landed the more punches.
I got to go back and look at it.
He hit with the oohs. Canelo at the end hit with the ahs. So everybody saw Skull, it got lost in translation. Bing, 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 bong. He moved. Bop, 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 bop. And then the last movement, that's where Canelo would throw the punch hard. That's what you saw last, and then the bell would ring. So it looked like Canelo was throwing the harder, controlling punches, but if you watch the fight, and who's landing the most punches? Clearly Skull.
It was winning.
Clearly.
The eye test. So he was winning the eye test at the end of the rounds, which was affecting. Okay.
He won the perception test on what people wanted to see.
Perception.
But as far as the boxing part, Skull actually didn't do. Skull did laterally what Bivol did coming forward.
Okay.
Bop, bop, bop. Bing, bing, bong. Eastern European style. Come in, get out. Come in, get out. Canelo couldn't do nothing with it. He's flat-footed. That's why he couldn't cut the ring off and get to Skull, because that's one thing. That's Canelo's his. That's why the Terrence Crawford thing is going to be interesting.
Okay.
Because Bud can move them feet. Canelo still can't move his feet. He got everything up. He got everything like a slick fighter, but the foot movement.
He seemed a little frustrated.
Because he couldn't move his feet. Couldn't cut the guy off.
Okay.
Because he still doesn't know how to do that yet.
Oh. Okay.
Now he can cut you off if you allow him, but a guy like Skull gonna come over and stop, cut back. Somebody else may cut. If you come on a Canelo, come and stop, and you get between his shoulders, he's gonna bang you out of there. But if you go, I can't stop here. Let me get back over here. Let me get. Now Skull did all night. He dot, ba-bing, ba-bing. Great strategy.
Okay.
It worked. Probably could have pulled a decision.
Okay. Didn't make for an exciting fight.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
Bad buffet. Don't eat the chicken. Don't eat the roast beef on the buffet. Okay. That's your fault. Your stomach hurt. It looked good under that red light.
Keep it to
how long it's been out there?
Stick to the dessert bar.
Go get the fried food, dog. Because all that bacteria been cooked off.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're safe.
You should know, man, that roast beef looks so good on that bright red light. The guy cutting it, that roast beef is sun the back for to thaw. Now you at home talking about, I don't know why my stomach bothering me.
Bad buffet. Baby, bring me the toilet paper.
Okay.
So,
but there are a couple of guys. Hey, that fight before that, my other Cuban kid.
Yeah, you were talking about his jab.
Brian, no, everything.
Okay.
I don't got his last name. Yes.
You were really impressed.
That kid is the goods.
Okay.
That kid is the goods. Brayon, oh my God, I forgot his last name.
Southpaw, right?
No,
is that the Southpaw guy? Okay.
No. That's the tall, skinny kid that fought on Sunday night on the Inoue card.
Right.
Featherweight, bantamweight guy.
Okay.
Oh my God, Espinoza. That kid. Oh man. So we ain't gonna spend too much more time on this.
Right.
Talk about some of the highlights, like the kid from Cuba that fought on the undercard of Canelo's fight, Brayan, Bryan. That kid is special.
You were impressed
middleweight kid, 160, 168 kid. Yes. Hopefully, watch his rise. You want to see this kid fight the Berlangas, Benavidez. This kid is next up.
You were saying it was important that he gets the right fights.
He gonna get them.
He gonna get the.
No, that boy the truth. Swag. Yeah, he is the next coming.
Okay.
The guy again, the bantamweight, featherweight. Again, I think it's Espinoza. I'm sorry, y'all. That fought before Inoue for that title fight.
Comments. Let us know.
Yeah,
in the comments.
the tall skin. Oh man, that was a great fight.
Okay.
But he got the goods. So there's a plethora of other exciting fighters out here. And that are going to deserve the spotlight. If I was to summarize last weekend's fights, I summarize it by saying, and I think ESPN wrote an article, and it's true. Are these guys deserving of what they got? And I would say this: it's going to go back to the matchmakers, and it's going to go back to the promoters, and signing some kids, signing guys like the Rollies. What I love the most about Rollie is that Rollie realizes that he talked himself into something to get here. Rollie should never be in this position. I'm sure he'll tell you. Rollie didn't have no long, extensive amateur background. He started boxing late, like 16, 17. Didn't win a whole bunch of national championships and all that kind of stuff. He was a Mayweather's. He built a reputation by giving hard sparring in gyms in Vegas and talking a lot of shit.
Good work. Okay.
Talking a lot of shit. A lot. And he talked himself into this position. Okay. And I love to see the transition of him Friday night, thanking God, number one, for the opportunity, and now realizing I'm not supposed to be here. And I'm not going to screw this up. He talked. Now, he don't get the last couple of days back to talking reckless.
Right.
But for the most part, talking about Ryan's mental health and helping him. And you seeing some growth and maturity of him saying, hold on a second. I can't mess this up. Because I got these other guys, they meant to be here.
Right.
I'm not, and I'm not going to mess up my opportunity. So I love to see the maturation in him. But you got to see these promoters start giving some of these guys like this opportunities.
Okay.
Hungry guys who weren't decorated amateurs or always have that part.
Silver spoon.
You put them in a Times Square, you're going to see Rocky and Apollo.
Right.
You put them on in Saudi, you're going to see them different. These guys now, they got money, they got fame, they got popularity. Boxing is a hunger game. It's literally a hunger game. You do it because you're hungry. Now you're not just eating, you eating the best. You wearing the best. You driving the best. What I think, who said it best? Was it Muhammad Ali or Joe Frazier? It might have been Hagler. I might be wrong. Somebody said it that when you go from sleeping on a mattress on the floor in the same clothes that you trained in the night before, it's easy to get up that next morning smelling yourself and going right to the gym because, shit, you smell like yourself anyway. Mm-hmm. But when you start making that money and now you putting that cologne on at night, that sweet smelling lotion.
Nice pajamas.
Silk pajamas.
Silk pajamas.
On them 2000 thread count. Y'all don't ever sleep on some high thread count sheets?
Oh my goodness.
That clock go off in that hotel room, them 2000 thread count.
Not going to
and them down pillows.
You're not going to want to put some work in.
You're not going to go want to get up, period. Let alone want to go somewhere and get punched in the face.
Okay.
Then you roll over, that Rolex over there gleaming at you, the Bentley keys looking at you. Phone been blowing up all night. Might have been laid up there with something sweeter than wine. Mm-hmm. I'll train tomorrow. I'll go tomorrow.
Takes away from your hunger.
No go from 10, you run them 5 miles. I got to be somewhere. 2 miles.
2 miles.
3 miles. Down from 10.
Meals good.
Mm-hmm. Best of everything.
Mm-hmm. That's going to translate into the ring.
Discipline, bro. Takes a lot. That takes a lot. That's not, again, and that's anybody's regular life. Mm-hmm. You give you and I a little bit of money.
Absolutely.
You go on from them 10 wings and make it 30. Split it. Extra ranch.
All flats.
Bring a pitcher. Don't bring no glass. You want the tall boy, Mr. Hill? Tall boy. Bring me the Montumbo.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Got extra dollar, you know, like I said, tax season.
Okay.
So imagine your tax season, $8 million in one Friday, one night. Them boys made, I think they just released, I think Ryan, Devin, I think they made $5 million. Teofimo made $800,000. I forgot what they said. Canelo, I think Canelo made 50. I forgot what the break, but it was, again, millionaire money in one night.
But that's what we want. We want boxers to get paid. We want fighters to get paid. There's money. Fighters are getting paid, but there's a drawback to that, right?
The drawback is what we just broke down.
What we just broke down.
It's
That's
going to be,
what I'm saying.
the more they get paid, and these are a different generation of guys.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That just comes with it.
Yeah, it just comes with it. So, you know, hopefully, I know where I'll close out with this, getting into the 10 minutes, is just you will hope that they, you know, my disappointment, the word came out. Them guys had, all three of those guys had opportunities to transcend their careers and really solidify themselves as the face of boxing. One of them guys came out there Friday night as the guy.
The stage was set.
The stage was set. Here's your chance to wave your flag. You're going to get paid. Here's your chance to wave your flag and say, I'm going to be next.
It's your moment.
I'm going to be next. None of them took it. Oh, there we go again. I think that's our time.
That's our time. But we got Sunday. We still didn't, the last fight, Sunday. You want to cover that, Inoue?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Touch on it a little bit.
Yeah, Inoue did his thing.
Inoue.
You know, he did his thing. You know, with the knockout or whatever. I was actually asleep. I was so tired of the whole weekend.
Okay.
I fell out during with his knockdown. So yeah, he did his thing. Talented guy. I still would like to see him get matched with somebody else, but in that weight class, I don't know a whole lot about them lightweights like that. So, you know, he looked good. I mean, you know, he fought through his adversity, got up off the canvas.
That's what I was impressed with.
Fought the guy. The guy was a hard match for him. So yeah.
Okay. Good takes, Coach. Good takes.
All right, gang. Well, I think those are the boxing gods kind of speaking to us about our lighting here today. I don't know what's going on with it, but again, guys, stick with boxing. Like I said, sometimes you get good buffet, sometimes you have bad. But you still had a good buffet, which gives you a lot. And there was still some dessert off that boxing menu to
Just stay away from the roast beef. That's what you said.
Always eat the fried food at the buffet.
Yeah, stick to the
it's
fried
a safer
food.
bet.
Yeah.
I'm the coach.
Des is trash.
BBL. Happy Friday.